Welcome to all in this course LTQS. This is the first section of the course. In this section, the first concept I want to introduce is PDN connections. PDN connections. PDN connection is an IP connection in the mobile network, or we can say in the LT network. A UE may have a single PDN at a time or multiple PDN connections open simultaneously. A PDN connection, basically it is a logical connection between UE and PDN gateway, or between a specific IPv version 4 address allocated to the UE. PDN connections, a UE may have a single connection or a multiple PDN connections simultaneously. In this slide we can see here the UE have multiple connections, PDN connections. First one for the internet, second one for the IMS for voice services, and third one PDN connections for the corporate network or private network. A key component in the PDN connections. A PDN is a logical connection between UE and PDN gateway. The main components are the APN and IP address allocated to the UE that may be of IP version 4, IP version 6 or dual stack. And APN is the access point name. It is a key components in the PDN connection, that is the identifier of the PDN network, packet data network, defined in both UE as well as in PGW, PDN gateway. The EPC supports three types of PDN connections in the LT network: IP version 4, IP version 6 and IP version 4 and IP version 6 dual stack. So for IP address, different methods can be used to assign IP address to the UE. The PDN gateway can assign IP address to the UE during the attach procedure. The IP address is sent to the UE as a part of attach message, or the UE does not receive an IP address during the attach. Instead, the UE uses the DHCP server to request an IP address after the attach process. Also, the IP address can also be provided by AAA server. The PDN gateway sends an authentication request containing the username and password to AAA server, and AAA server responses an IP address for the UE, and this is a different way for IP address allocation in the LT network. Next is the EPS bearer. This is a very important concept in the EPS system. Multiple bearers can coexist in the same PDN connection, and each EPS bearer provides a logical transport channel between the UE and PDN for transporting the IP packets. Each EPS bearer is associated with a set of QS parameters that specify the parameter of transport channel, and the QS parameter includes throughput, delay and bit error rate. Now there are two types of EPS bearer. First one is the default EPS bearer and second one is the dedicated EPS bearer. The default bearer is created in the attach procedure and remains active through the lifetime of the PDN connection. In most cases, QS associated with the default bearer is for user traffic that does not need any special treatment, such as web browsing, and dedicated bearer created for an existed PDN connection or dedicated bearers. They are activated on demand. For example, some voice over IP applications may need some specific guaranteed bitrate that the default bearer cannot satisfy. In this case, a dedicated bearer will be established, and dedicated bearers are deactivated after they are no longer needed. Now, the EPS bearer ID and TFD, traffic flow template. The EPS bearer has an EPS bearer ID including the default bearer and dedicated bearer. The EPS bearer ID identifies the different EPS bearer contacts for a one subscribe. And the TFT, traffic flow template, is used in the dedicated bearer activation procedure. Now we have a summary as follows. Each UE can have multiple PDN connections simultaneously, and each PDN connections, the PDN IP address and APN parameters for each PDN connection. It also contains one default EPS bearer and up to 10 dedicated EPS bearer. Each bearer contains the EPS bearer ID and QS parameter, and each dedicated EPS bearer corresponds to TFT, and each TFT contains one or multiple filter. TFT means traffic flow templates. That's all. Thank you.